I am finishing videos on some judges which I haven't mentioned in my videos on my channel, so I have almost 500 videos. So most of them are on international organized crime, a lot of illegal arms trade in Serbia and Western Balkans. So in this video I mentioned, so it's already set, okay. So in this video I mentioned, this is a very important video because Chief Supreme Prosecutor, Supreme Prosecution is the highest instance of prosecution in Serbia, confirmed that by ignoring me, she confirmed I'm acting as a Supreme Prosecutor. So I already investigated brutal murders of 3 members of my family. I proved that monster who murdered them is guilty. No lawyer want to defend her since August 2017, so more than 6 years now. And I also collected a lot of material on how sick this monster is. So these pieces of evidence, that material will be used for a lot of psychological and psychiatric studies. This is the monster and piece of shit and moron and rough-faced stupid bitch who murdered 3 members of my family. She also poisoned 3 kids, 3 children, my brother's children, in order to intimidate them. This is her sister who gave guarantees for her. Both of them have major psych issues. So regarding children poisoning, this is the video. So YouTube is blocking me in every possible way, which you can see if you just type YouTube in my channel, search on my channel, and or decrease. So they are decreasing. What? I don't know why I have only one video here shown in. Maybe decreasing. Okay, so a lot of videos on decreasing my views in every possible way, and decreasing my watch time, so you should not pay attention to that, the number of views and time watched, because it's not realistic. So go back to the subject. In this video I opened document which is list of 45 now cases of international organized crime related to Serbia, and from 42 through 43 and 44, from 42 to 44, these are there are 3 judges mentioned. One of these judges is current judge and president of Supreme Court of Serbia, so major deal. And these other 2 judges, Savic and what's the other guy? Let's see, Dragan Milosevic. So I will create separate videos on each of them. They are mentioned because they are also involved in the same case, and of course some other cases, of cover-up of international organized crime. So in this case that was smuggling of cigarettes. And of course I will add another one, Majic, who is involved in cover-up of illegal arms trade. He will be the fourth. So now I'm creating videos on these 4 judges. So the first one is, as shown here, the President of Supreme Court, JASMINA VASOVIC. So I can close this now. I don't have enough memory. So I need to close it. To close as many tabs as possible. So I have a powerful machine, but it has some problems now. So I'm going to final 2 folder. Actually, I need to close this and to access it using a video description. Maybe this should be in about section. Actually, maybe that would be better. I'm just so okay. So this is description of this video contains the links to some important G drive folders where I have the important data. Before middle of June 2021 I was recording my emails. I had screenshots on my emails, but after that time I'm recording videos of emails, which is way more convenient and way faster. So sorry, wrong folder. So I'm opening folder which is related to Supreme Court. So these are the emails I sent to Supreme Court. This is something that has to 2 articles that has to do with one of emails, and just to show how this looks like, these are just emails, screenshots of emails, and this is very important. I needed to do it this way because when I convert it to PDF, or what's the other format, I need to check out this. So when I convert it, I lose information on the encryption, which was very important in my case, because judge, PDF, and President of Higher Instance Court, Slađana Bojković, another judge of Elementary Court, Dragan Rogan. I have a lot of videos on them. So just a second to finish up this. Yeah, PDF and XPS, this is a simulation of printer, doesn't contain encrypt certificates info, and this still doesn't. This is a bug in the in YouTube, so I need to reload the page to get rid of this gap. Just mentioning it, just needed to mention it. So this is the reason why I had this this type of screenshots. So the next one is of course that same page, but without that part related to encryption and certificates. So this is how it looked like. So now I'm opening this. So to September 19th. Today is what? This is date and time. I had some problems when I didn't add time reference to my videos. So I'm now opening this, and I'm going to the end. So to be continued. This is about former rector, so top head of the top of university. I already created video on her. So this is international crime, and a lot of these crimes. So by creating this, I did job of Supreme Prosecutor, as I showed in the beginning of this video. So this is the last one about that reactor, as I mentioned. So let's start this first video on judges, first of set of videos on judges deeply involved in international organized crime with JASMINA VASOVIC. By the way, Vasovic is is not name, is not surname, which is frequent in Serbia. It's surname from Montenegro, so I don't know if this is her maiden name or her surname or surname of her husband. Anyways, so this is official website of Supreme Court of Serbia, and that's her page. So that's her. So let's see what newspapers have to say about her. I need to escape loading the whole page because it has a lot of this stupid. So if I press escape, it usually doesn't load everything. Okay, so this video is about her, and it says who is she. Vučić is the current president of Serbia, Aleksandar Vučić. I have very interesting videos about this piece of shit. So for instance, this one, and this one, and so on and so on. So I think that would be enough to figure out who she is. So she is this article explains who she is, that JASMINA VASOVIC, and this was in the time when she was a candidate for president of then Supreme Cassation Court, now only Supreme Court of Serbia, so highest instance of judiciary system, highest instance court in the judiciary system. So believe it or not, this is the judge who I need to translate this. I really don't know. Judge who acquitted, right?
Believe it or not, this is the judge who acquitted Stanko Subotic.
Acquitted, okay. Cane for cigarette smuggling, and the Lord of the North, or Kosovo and Metohija, Zvonko Veselinic, for fraud. So she's deeply involved in international organized crime, and she became president of that court, which is of course problem of High Council of Judiciary. At that time, I think that this guy, who was also president of Supreme Court, was also president of actually I can see the date. Yeah, he was the So this guy, Milovic, I have, as you can see, videos on him. So they are all deeply involved in international organized crime, cover up, and helping international organized criminals and so on and so on. So she is the one of the judges who released that international organized criminal for smuggling cigarettes. Of course, he does that with the help of intelligence and other institutions, and then he shares money that he earns with politicians. Of course, I mean, this is how it works. Anyone who believes the otherwise is a moron. But anyway, so she was the judge of first court. This is court for the area. I don't know how to translate it in English. Until 29, and wow. And during that time, during that period, there were two times where the procedure started for her to be fired, not to be judge anymore, because she was involved in illegal activities. This is what it says here. But after that, she went to higher instance court, surprisingly. At the beginning, she was working on investigation, because judge can also be involved in investigation. And after that, she moved to first degree as acting judge. So yeah, so okay, so she was friend with at that time chief, I guess it's the director of state intelligence. Okay, I need to check out this. So this is the guy. Yeah, director. Yeah. Director. He was director. Because there is a director, and I think DA, some sort of commissioner. So when was it? Yeah, 2013. Okay, so that makes sense. So this is the reason why she was her career skyrocketed, and she was protected from being fired as a judge. So when you are fired as a judge, you cannot be judge anymore in any court. So because she was a friend with the then director of state intelligence, I mean, not probably, she definitely did some dirty work for intelligence, spying on people, being informer and stuff like that. So this is how she. So this is real piece of shit. You can see from this, from the first few sentences of this article, that this is a real piece of shit. She will now go to jail. I'm preparing this before I contact the international institutions. So She became first and only judge of a higher instance court, which I don't understand. This is a error in the article. I don't know what this means. I mean, first and only judge of the which well, this should be passive, which was questioned for passing judiciary exam, something like that, and then she moves to Court of Appeals in Belgrade, probably. So as a judge of Court of Appeals, she released, acquitted DA release of Zvonko Veselinic, local mafia, for stealing 32 trucks in which was ownership of Hipalpe Adria Leasing. This is a bank. I don't know if they exist anymore because they had some issues. So, yet the biggest scandal. Okay, I mean that would be faster if I translate it and correct where there are mistakes. So. How she did the biggest scandal. She was involved in the biggest scandal, but it was also the biggest favor did to Alexander Vučić, current president, when she, as a member of the panel of judges, confirmed the shocking acquittal of Stanko Subotic Cane. This is wrong, it should not be T. Stanko Cane is like a nickname of Stanko. In the shortest time ever recorded, yeah, so this was done in an extremely short time. It will forever be recorded that because of such behavior, the public prosecutor filed a request, for the protection of legality to the Supreme Court of Cassation, which stated that the law was violated in favor of the defendant, that is, that the law was violated in favor of Subotic. However, according to our judicial system, a legally concluded procedure that's wrong, this is the crucial point, cannot be repeated to the detriment of the defendant, and thus in this great judicial fraud, Cane remained unconvicted. So this is wrong, and the best example is trial of Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein scandal is international children's sex trafficking prostitution ring, and the biggest scandal to hit the humankind, and as can be seen in multiple documentaries on Jeffrey Epstein scandal or Jeffrey Epstein operation, that was CIA, Mossad, and the Israeli military intelligence operation. Ari Ben Menashe confirmed that. I mentioned that in one of my videos, so I'm not going into details. I mean, I will create separate video on this part of Jeffrey Epstein operation. So Jeffrey Epstein was, this is the whole point, was tried, was in court, in different courts, for the same crime committed 3 times. So first time was when he was released, that was a state court in 2025, and then DA chief police chief of Miami police chief, I think, Michael Reiter. He reported everything to FBI, and then it became a federal case. He was then again trial in DA 28, and that was the date when of signing that that was the year when she signed or case when she signed that non-prosecution agreement. And then in 2019 he also went to court on the same so that was the same indictment. So in these three cases, it was the same indictment, the same. So first time they stripped it, but the indictment was the same, but they removed a lot of huge part of it in the in 28. So in 25th, huge part of indictment was removed. Then in 28, it was the same indictment, but he was in jail for some ridiculous time period, and he had work release and was and signed non-prosecution agreement. And then in 2019, before he allegedly committed suicide, I think that he was not even murdered, because that picture with the doctors carrying him from the hospital, they are giving him some sort of I don't know what it is called, to help him breathe. That thing like okay, I need to open that. Jeffrey Epstein there should be picture with the doctors. But anyways, I don't want to spend time on it. So there are doctors who were moving him from the prison to ambulance. They are trying to give him the CPR, and he was dead at the time. Dead for 4 hours. So I don't even believe he was murdered in the first place. But anyways, so that was very suspicious. And again, so as I said, in 2019, before he committed the murder, he was in court, I think, at least one time, because I remember that there were those victims who gave statements regarding his what's the name, bail. Yeah, I think that was regarding bail, and he was in court at least once. So that was the same indictment, and that was for same crimes. So for same crimes, and his example shows that this actually doesn't always. It's not always a rule that can be applied. So and of course this is international organized crime, and they will go to court again, but together with that judge, and not the judge, but these two other judges who are president. One of them was president of their circle of judges, and the second one released that guy, that mobster, in lower instance court, and then the Court of Appeals just confirmed the decision of that lower instance court. Actually, the name of that lower instance court is higher instance court, but it is lower instance than Court of Appeals. So that was it regarding that moral. Let's see if there is something else to be translated. Okay, I don't need this anymore. So I don't know, I think I mentioned that was the official page of Supreme Court. Then after that, in 2018, she became the judge of Supreme Court, Supreme Cassation Court at that time. Because of all she did, now it is expected that President Vučić will work on her promotion into president of Supreme Cassation Court at that time. Okay, so that was these are the newspapers, Direktno, which means direct. Okay, so that was about her, and I don't know if I should mention something else. Let's see. Okay, this will be interesting. Who is her husband? Wow. Wow. Is that her or someone else? Okay. Yeah, so this is the guy who has the same surname as that piece of shit, and he said here in this article that he's a journalist, I guess. Yeah, journalist. He said he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. I thought it was her husband. I wanted to see. Wow. Well, there is okay. There is more of her. She lives in, at least this is what it says here. Even N1 wrote about her. Okay, so so it says here that the whole judiciary is in shock because this monster. So this was before she. So 13th of February 2021. So this is before she became president of Supreme Court. It says here that the whole judiciary is in shock because of that. This was when everything was prepared. So there are a lot of things about her. Some new details emerged, more and more details every day. So, for instance, yeah, so she's married to a guy from Montenegro, Sasha Vasovic. Yeah, so it says here that she, when she was during divorcing her husband, so one of the judges, probably her friend, this guy Predrag Vasic, piece of shit, this piece of shit gave her the whole apartment. So her husband got nothing. And the higher the higher instance court confirmed that. Wow. And of course, when she became powerful, she made these two judges. There are two judges who helped her get the whole apartment, and these two judges, Rastko Popovic and Predrag Vasic. I hope that the international institution related to judiciary will take care of this. So both of these two judges became judges of Court of Appeals in Belgrade. So then she helped them. So this is the apartment in Ljubostinska Street. And until recently, I mean this date, the whole building in that street where that actually the apartment was in that building, so the whole building was illegally built. And of course, that judge, piece of shit, Jasmina Vasovic, solved that problem. She did that together with her friend Vesna Lončar, one of the good friends of Andrej Vučić, so brother of President, I mean quoted President Vučić. And this building became legal, although there were no conditions met for such thing. And they pressured guy Nemanja Stajic, who is secretary for Secretariat for Legalization of buildings in Belgrade. Yeah, he was arrested actually recently, I mean at that time in Montenegro, who was because guy Nenad Matovic called Cheo, I don't know who that is, probably some mobster. So the whole point of this is that pieces of shit from foreign embassies know everything about this internet. Yeah, narco cartel. Okay, so you got the feelings what the whole thing is about. Okay. And so on and so on. So again, something about buildings. Okay, so that was another article about her. So this was 12th of April. What the hell is this? Coke, blah blah blah. 2021. So Serbian Parliament elected that moron JASMINA VASOVIC for president of Supreme Cassation Court. That was a suggestion of High Council of Judiciary. That guy was president, that Milojevic, who is the subject on my video I showed at the beginning of this video. Okay, let's see. So this is M1, which is CNN branch in Balkans. Okay. Okay, so this is something, for some reason I didn't see this article. So this is some more, this has some more information on judges. So it is very interesting that this Judge Majic is talking. I don't know if that's Miodrag Majic. Yeah, Miodrag Majic, who is involved in cover-up of illegal arms trade. So he is now talking here about against this now judge of against JASMINA VASOVIC, and he is also involved in international organized crime. So it's insane. Okay, these are some more data on not just judges but also prosecutors involved in organized crime and international organized crime. And again, this is branch of CNN, which means that pieces of shit from United States Embassy in the first place in Belgrade know everything about this, and they pretend nothing is happening. Okay, of course they are at the top of people who still cover up monstrous murders of my family. I have a lot of videos on that on my channel, such as this one, United States Embassy, and of course federal government that controls them. It was behind attempt to steal my whole property and give it to monstrous murder of my family, and I will be, and my brother will be practically homeless. They gave up when I contacted, right after I contacted on 19th of September 2019 United States Embassy in Belgrade, reminded them that United States is at the top of Jeffrey Epstein's scandal, and then I called FBI. So this is mentioned here and in most of the videos about Bojana Babic, notary, who was the one who was in charge of inheritance proceedings for my father. Then after they give up, their job was did by Judge Dejan Adamovic. He committed major frauds and gave third of my property. Now third on my property to that monster who brutally murdered 3 members of my family and even poisoned 3 kids. So there are a lot of videos about that judge, that piece of shit, and I'm sure that her colleagues from international institution will do something about that. I'm sure they don't want another scandal with children, because they are their colleagues from United States and other countries which were involved in Jeffrey Epstein scandal. They already broke or violated laws in a lot of cases, so it's not just United States at the top of being involved in of list of countries who are involved in Jeffrey Epstein scandal are also so-called elite countries of European Union, such as France, Jean-Luc Brunel, then UK, Randy Andy, and Germany, Deutsche Bank. So I'm not going into details. I will explain that in a separate video. So this is another article about Jasmina or Jasmina. I don't know who is Popovic. So there are a lot of information here. Yeah. So she is also, Jasmina Vasovic is also a friend from law studies with Aleksandar Vučić, current president of Serbia. When she was 47 years old, she became judge of Supreme Cassation Court. Okay, and it says here that she was in close relationship. I know. I mean, it doesn't say directly lover, but close relationship with president. So again, what is remembered about her, that she was deeply involved in a lot of illegal affairs, but she still was being promoted. Okay, so this is about something else. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is something that yeah, this is not mentioned. Starting from 2015, she was involved in proceedings in cases of special unit for organized crime. Yeah, Court of Appeals. I didn't know they had that unit or office, which is which is unbelievable. So she is representing Serbia in European Judicial Network. She is member of okay, this is a Judicial Academy, not international. Mentor and lecturer and trainer on Judicial Academy. Okay, this is not about her. So she was attending seminars. Okay, this is not a big deal. Okay. Okay, so this is important. So she represents Serbia in European Judicial Network. So okay, I was close. So European Judicial Network, I will contact them as well. I don't know what's the difference between Eurojust and European. Okay, so this is different. But I will contact them because they were recently featured in one of the on one of the sites. Either it was higher instance of High Council of Judiciary or DA. Actually, I can check it out right now. So Supreme Court. Okay, so there should be a just somewhere here. No, I saw it here. Maybe it's on that other side. So anyways, I will find it. So I saw Eurojust in on one of the pages, web pages, either some high instance court or High Council of Judiciary. I will check out, but I will. I mean, even if I forgot to check out, I will contact definitely Eurojust as well. So European Judicial Network and Eurojust will be also contacted, and some other institutions. But regarding that judge, so-called president of Supreme Court of Serbia, that would be all. What's this? Okay, this is something that I already covered. So that would be all regarding her.